Okay, welcome back to PyraPOD. Today I like to make a relatively long video because what need to be explained is a lot, right? It's but you're gonna learn a lot, right? So today we are presenting a retrofit. This is the design we don't want to do, but because of something happened, then we see the need, right? We see the need to do it. Anyways, by looking at this structure, you can recognize this resemble the so-called Chinese style passive solar house. This is simply a profile we grab from a video, and then to demonstrate how to if this is an existing Chinese greenhouse, then how to retrofit, how to simply use the same structure, okay, the exact same structure, and then to build, to incorporate the solar roof, technology, into this structure. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do today. So before I can explain how the whole thing works, I like to go to a website to show how the whole thing started. The whole thing started when I'm using this one. Because I haven't made the English page for this project, right? Basically, this is a case study studying two cases. One is it's from this guy, and this gentleman, his name is Dong Jianyi. Okay, and so he set up a greenhouse in Oats, where he lived. He has apparently a farm there, and so he set it up and then start to produce lots of vegetables and sell vegetable in Calgary, right? By the way, I came from Calgary. I lived there more than 20 years. So anyway, so I know the Calgary's weather is lots of sunshine, right? In Canada, that's called the sunshine Alberta, and lots of sunshine, but very cold in winter. So basically, he explained how to grow vegetables. In Alberta, very cold. Could be minus 35, right? So he explained, how he started. So this is the video, okay? So anyway, so someone know that I'm doing, the greenhouse. So then they say, hey, someone else already did it, right? It's working. He's selling his produce, right? And so I studied, right? And so I that's why I make, it's because it's a Chinese friend sent me this, so I create this page to just to explain the difference, right, between his greenhouse and our greenhouse. And so this video shows that how he did it, how he did the first one, and this one he explained, very in great detail, how his how the inside looks, right? How the structure looks, right? And also yesterday, Richard Nelson sent me his video. This video. This video he presented in English to on a webinar on October 9th, 2020. So as you can see, a lot of views, right? And I explain how he started the whole thing, and how his greenhouse perform, right? So anyway, so yeah, so and he show a picture, and that's something that I want to show as well. See, he showed this photograph. This is a view taken from an airplane or a drone, to show that in northern China, right, millions of this type of passive solar greenhouses, in China, to grow vegetables, right, and even in winter time. So to show that they are working, right, to produce, think about China, lots of people, right, they need lots of vegetables, right, and fresh vegetables. So this is how they are doing it, right? So when we look at this and we see the need, instead of creating a new structure, promoting a new one, then and a new technology, right? We see the need to retrofit, our own technology into the existing greenhouse, right? Because they're already there, and the structure is sound, right? And maybe after a while, the fabric need to be replaced. So we see the need that when the fabric is need to be replaced, you can easily convert existing structure, into PyraPOD, into a solar roof, greenhouse. So that's why we decided maybe this is the way, right? Instead of pushing a new product, there's another way to actually convert, right? And also to give guidance for others, right? Who want to do the same, right? Who want to build a new greenhouse, and then they always, I know even here, always look to the Chinese style, passive greenhouse, right? And that for those people, then we can give them a better choice, right? Better choice. So before you start, you do, we can present you why, you can still use that structure, right? Because you can simply, order from China, right? You start from there, but do some simple modification, and then you end up with a better greenhouse, better performance, and also the cost is lower. The cost is much lower, and also the operating cost is low too, right? Very low. So and that's the reason that we see that we need to do this, right? So that's why I made create a web page in Chinese. By the way, this time I will do the English one, right? So anyway, so now we just quickly look at his greenhouse, and this is actually a typical greenhouse. The inner layer is a typical greenhouse, but he because of the cold temperature in Alberta, so he simply built a shell, around it to make it double layer, right? You see, and the north wall is totally opaque, and he filled with this cavity with dirt. Okay, so in the for the he think this could be the way to store the solar thermal energy, right? Later on I'll explain this is not needed at all, but anyway, so that's what he did. So he outside of this profile, he created another one. This profile gave him a lot of advantages. One is prevent the snow from falling on the on this thick blanket, right? Because once you have snow, once you lower it down, fully cover, got snow. How do you remove the snow, right? Because the greenhouse is huge, right? How you so that's why he created this deeper slope, external layer, and he even installed this vibrator, to vibrate, create a vibration. So the snow, if he has thick snow, right? The snow can, through the vibration, the snow will slide down, right? So he did, a lot of, hard work, thinking, right, to make sure it works, right? And yeah, that's what it is, And so today we simply grab, the inner shell, this profile out, and then to show, what we can do to, using this structure, exactly the same structure, and to show that we can, build our own solar roof, technology into the structure, and still, we can use the soap bubbles to insulate, right? Create a canopy, to totally surround, to wrap around the greenhouse, to and do better job, right? So that's what it is. Yeah. So but before I get into the actual retrofitting design, I like to explain, to show just the performance, how his greenhouse perform in comparison with the PyraPOD and solar roof design. Okay, so for that I like to go back to his video, and we simply go to this. Okay, yeah. For this reason, we simply go to his video and show the temperature profile, to show the to see his greenhouse performance. This is very good, very clear, and apparently he recorded at least 3 times. One, early in the morning, then one in the middle of the day, right? Roughly, I think it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock, and then at after sunset. So basically, at least for each day, there's at least 3 data, right? 3 temperatures, and the blue one showing the outside temperature, it's jumping, around, right? And the orange, red, showing the interior temperature, right? Temperature inside the greenhouse, right? So air temperature, see here, yeah, that's air temperature outside, then greenhouse temperature. Yeah. So we can see that the one obvious impression is there's a huge sway of temperatures. One, the sun it's very high in the sky, right? And then the inner temperature, the temperature inside the greenhouse reach 30 degrees. See the highest point, 30 degree, and he explained in his video that in some time it reach 40 degrees, so he has to open windows. So obviously he won't allow that to happen. 40 degrees too high, right? So obviously all these data accumulated because the fact when it reach 30, he has to open windows. So because it's too hot, right? And also, and the lowest point we can see that's here it's plus 10, which is good, right? but in certain area here it's very cold and cloudy, so in a cloudy day and very cold, and we see that the inner temperature is very low. Here is up almost zero here, and this is below zero. Okay, this is even below zero, and here this is a good one. This shows that when the outside temperature is minus 25, the inside temperature for the greenhouse is I guess it's minus 2 or 3, something like that. So this is a dangerous area, right? So that it proves that solar energy indeed is good enough, right, to heat up the greenhouse. But in this case, we see that the solar energy storage capacity is not in good condition, right? Otherwise, we won't see the huge sway of indoor temperature, right? So this is the problem. This reveals that his greenhouse, the heat absorption, the solar thermal absorption and storage capacity, there's a lot of room for improvement. That's the issue, right? So as a comparison, I like to show the temperature profile for a greenhouse that Richard Nelson built in his backyard, utilizing solar roof technology, right? So this is recorded on January 29th, January, that's relatively cold, almost February, so 1994. And so we see 4 temperatures instead of 2. The lower one is obviously the exterior roof temperature. There's a sensor stick to the outside of the roof, right? And that shows that the lowest point is minus 20. Okay, minus even, I think it looks like minus 21 or 22. Okay, very low, right? And it's end of January, right? And we also see the red line. That's the bubble temperature, on the south side. Okay, so there's a video actually showing he stick temperature sensor in the center, because the cavity is roughly 2 feet, right? In the middle, there's a temperature sensor there to measure the temperature in the middle, right? In the middle of the bubble blanket, bubble wall, right? And this is on the south side, yeah. Okay, so we see this temperature fluctuate. The fluctuation is not because of it's different from what we see over there, in Mr. Dong's greenhouse. The fluctuation actually is caused by the filling the cavity with soap bubbles, right? And then once you fill the whole cavity, you stop, right? And then the soap bubbles start to collect solar thermal energy, right? So the temperature increase. So the increase shows that with time, as you collect more solar thermal energy, right, the temperature will increase. So, and then when you produce new bubbles to kill the old bubbles, right, and replace with new bubbles, then the temperature suddenly drop because the new bubbles, reflect to the temperature of the tank, right? So this blue line showing the water tank temperature, the soap water tank temperature. You see it's relatively stable, right? Because it's a huge amount, right? it won't fluctuate, right? And so that's we see clearly. And the most important thing is this line. This is dark blue. See here, there's not much fluctuation, right? And it stay around 10 degree Celsius above zero, right? And also we see that because he start this measurement from middle, okay, from noon time, okay, this is 12, okay, 12, and we see that, and he didn't have any of the bubble filled in, right? So it's like a double layer greenhouse filled with air, right? But once he start to produce bubbles to fill the cavity with bubbles, this is showing the process, right? And then we see the temperature drop, quite quickly, right? Because the bubbles carry the liquid, cool down the cavity temperature, fast, right? So we see this red line, drop considerably, right, to a point of almost zero. Okay, see, this is the cooling effect. This is the chilling effect, right? But the inside temperature didn't drop that much. You see, it only dropped to here about the 15, 20, so and then with time, it just caused the the inner temperature, just dropping from 15 to around 10 degree, see, around 10 degree. Only at midnight, here, not just midnight, but also the lowest point actually is before the sunset, right? Or even after sunset, right? Because the sun sends solar thermal energy has not accumulated to its highest capacity. So around 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's the lowest point. The outside temperature is the lowest, and then indeed the inside temperature is also the lowest, right? But it's still relative good. This is around 5 degree, right? So we see this huge difference between the exterior temperature and the inside temperature. You see it's roughly, this is 10 degree, this is 20 degree, so it's 25 degrees difference. So this clearly shows that that bubbles are so effective, in absorbing solar thermal energy, and also at the same time create the blanket, right, to stop the air vacuum, the air movement, right? Because it captures the air inside the bubbles, so stop the convection of heat, right? So that's why bubbles are so effective in keeping the inside temperature relative stable. You see, we don't have this huge swing of temperature, so so there's some swing, right? There's some, but not, it's within, it's a less than 15 degree, right? So which is nice, and that's what we want, and that's what the plant like, right? So we clearly see the difference, why you need to introduce bubbles and to fill the cavity, right? Instead of using air. So air, we know it doesn't work, right? So and even blanket, it will insulate, right? Will stop losing much heat indeed, but you still have the problem. That is, when you have the sun, it's hot. When you don't have the sun, it's cold. And this is what I keep talking about, saying that this is the problem with a traditional greenhouse, with any greenhouse that you have, even double layer greenhouse, you have air inside, right? You have blanket inside, but still the problem remain, right? with some modification like what Mr. Dong did, it helps, right? But it didn't completely solve the problem, right? So, and that's why, we decided, this morning, and Richard Nelson and Young and me, three of us, we spend roughly 2 hours, then we come up with a solution, right? How can we, taking the structure, this is the structure, right? And we, the Chinese, use, right? Or some people use here, they import from China, they get the structure, right? And then they build the rest themselves, right? Or even get the, covering. But what we're showing is to, based on the structure, in a case when, for example, the existing covering, the fabric deteriorate, and you want to replace it, right? You have to remove the whole thing, right? And so that's the time, that's the moment you should consider, using the backbone, and simply that's the, best moment to, to have incorporate our design, this one, into the structure. I'll quickly explain how it works. Actually, very simple, very simple. If you truly understand how it works, then you'll be amazed at how come nobody's doing this, or nobody's showing how to do this, right? So yeah, so this is what we do. So basically, we divide the whole greenhouse structure into basically two sections. One is the arc, the south-facing arc, like this type of, profile. This is one section. We call it the south-facing panel. You can, and then the rest is another section. So for the rest, this is the north wall, right? This is the west wall, and that the other side is the east, right? So in this design, we make the door to be on the west side. You can change it, right? If you, you can put it on the other side, or you can put two doors, right? That's okay. But in this design, we only show that the fans, the bubble production, just from one section, just from this place, and then that's enough to make enough bubbles to push around, go around and fill the entire, this three side section, right? The envelope, yeah. So as you can see, the holes for fan is here. So the fan will be on the right hand side, and then they blow air inside. So and this is simply like a duct, right? A channel, right? And then create a pressurized space, right? And then we see this screen. This actually could be the entire surface, this slope, right? Could be a screen, or you can drill some holes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, or 4. That's the detail, right? And then you simply place the sprayer, right, on over the top, and then spray the soap liquid solution to cover the screen, right? Because this is a pressurized space, so the air will push it out, right? Create the bubbles. So the bubble blowing take place on this plane, right? So the bubbles are produced, here, and then so fill this area first, and then you know, the air continue blow in, right? Blow lots of bubbles in here, so we'll push, you know, the bubbles, you know, this way. So the bubble actually, if you can imagine, the bubble will flow along the north wall, the lower part of north wall, right? Yeah, and I need to yeah, go this way. Yeah. So the bubble will push, you know, along the way, push, going this way, you know, go around the corner, and then fill this part, and then, you know, fill, you know, to a point. Then there's no way to go, or there's only one way to go up. Okay, so that's why it's better to, you know, let the bubble go this way and then push up, right? And then up, you know, continue fill. It's all filled, right? And continue to go around the corner, coming back along the north side wall, and then simply go around the corner, same thing, right? The screen is here, the lower part, right? And this is the, you know, air, and so the bubble will continue to push and fill this area. There's no way to go, and they gather together here, and here there's still no way to go because the air is drawing through, right? So the bubble will go through the fan. Okay, this is the magic point. This is the point where the bubbles are, you know, crushed, right? Broken, right, into air by the fan, you know. So because there's no liquid, I mean no spraying here. The spraying is happening here, right? So simply bubbles. So when the bubble, you know, goes through the fan will break it up, right? So the liquid and the air separate, right? And then that's complete the cycle, right? So this is the place that you know, there will be some liquid gathering, you know, and you know, this is the place, you know. So you know, we're gonna give you the detail, right? The soap liquid tank, the small tank can be here, and also you know, liquid accumulation, right? But this is actually should be insulated because this is the air part, right? But anyway, that's just give you a general idea. So you see, simply by design, by using the existing structure and build a wall, you know, 1 meter apart. The distance is 1 meter. You know, just make it simple. You know, 1 meter. You know, this is the, yeah. You know, you can. It's a big gap. You can even walk. You know, walk in, walk through, right? So and by creating this huge thick blanket and filled with bubble, we can easily you know, create the, you know, highest, you know, insulation for your greenhouse and wrap around, you know. And then same thing for the south facing roof, you know. Then we do similar things. We create sections simply. So basically we use two you know, the metal structure, you know, three, while two, and then because there's nothing underneath, right? It's just a arc, right? So curvature, right? And then yes, we create a, you know, like a bag thing, you know, it's hanging from the top, right? So and then there's a path, you know. This is a great wide, really wide duct, you know, basically a channel, right? Basically a channel, you know, totally empty, right? And so in this case, the fan will be here on the right hand side and blow air into this region, you know. And in this region we simply use this area as the screen, you know. We use reticulated, you know, foam to cover this, right? Make this the screen, and the sprayer will be at the bottom, you know, spray to the top, right? You can drill holes or you can use the whole area, as long as you can make sure the soap liquid spray and cover the entire surface and that's fine, right? And then you can blow bubbles, right? So and then so we can imagine, the bubble, a lot of bubble will be produced here, and then the air will blow them up, right? More bubbles created, then they squeeze up, and then when it got reached to the top, fill the entire area, right? Because remember, I showed in the video that it's very sticky. When you make the small bubbles, right, then they are very sticky to each other. So and nowhere to go, but only to go sideways. So there's a hole here, square hole, simply a square hole, and it goes sideways and fill this area. And the liquid, some will turn to liquid, right? Liquid will fall down, right? But bubbles won't fall down, right? Because they're sticky. So they will just, like a snake, coming down, slightly, right? And push it down, and then down to here, right? And then when there's nowhere to go, right, and the fan keep pulling air, so then the bubble will go through. So at the moment when the bubbles go through the fan, that's the moment you feel the entire cavities, two section completely filled, right? So this is how it works. Then it circulates. If you don't stop the fan and the spring, right, then the whole process keep going. So you see the some movement, right, by the air, right? So that's how it is. And the same thing over here, we couldn't see because this is actually a knee wall. This has should be in dark color actually. But anyway, so the same thing over here, just another fan here, and then producing bubbles from here and pushing up, the hole here, and push and going down, right? And the same here. So keep going. So in this case, let's see. In this case, we have one, counting pairs, right? In pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, total of 8 pairs, right? 8 pair of channels, right? Doesn't have to be too big, right? And it won't cost a lot of consume a lot of electricity, because you fill the entire cavities roughly around a few minutes only, and then you stop. Then after maybe 2 or 3 hours you need to fill, right? So and the actual time depends on how you make everything. So you can judge on site how many hours you need to refill, right? So you see the fan and the pump only work for a few minutes, and then it stop. Then everything, the bubble stay there and doing its magic work, to insulate the whole structure, right? So that's how it works. And obviously in summertime you don't there's other choices, right? If you want more, for example, in summertime you want more sunshine coming, so you don't fill with bubbles. So when you don't fill the bubbles, then the entire structure is transparent, right? And in summertime, when you see the sun is going this way, right, very steep, and then you need a shade, then you fill with bubble to create a shade, but it won't stop the sunlight coming in, so you still get full sunlight for growth, right? But you transfer the red light, the solar thermal energy, and into heat form, and then store in the liquid tank, right? So this is how you collect solar thermal energy, store it in liquid soap tank, and then when the night time comes, you simply fill the entire envelope with bubbles to stop the heat from escaping, right? So whatever heat you gather, you capture during the day, then you can use it during the night, and for that reason you don't need actual heat, right? So this shows that this is better than this is not passive solar. This is actually proactive solar, because we have the bubbles, moving bubbles, dynamic bubbles, when you need it, then you create them, right? When you don't need them, you simply destroy them, right? Simply by not spraying, simply by let the bubbles going through the fan, and then you break the whole bubbles, right? And then you can turn the entire structure transparent. That's how it is. So I'm sure that once you understand this, when you see how it works, you know, right? This is so simple. This is bloody simple. Yeah. If you can still understand this, that means you need to really think, right? You need to ask questions, right? And and then we like to help, and as we said before, this is we encourage DIY, right? If you truly understand what it is, right, I encourage you to build it yourself, right, without paying us, right? This is because why we do this. We just want the whole world to know about this technology. We want those who are handy, they build it themselves, right, and then benefit themselves, right? But if you not handy, and if you want to someone else to build it, right, you can hire someone to build it, right? Or you can order product from us, right? Yeah. So anyway, so we can, we show that how we do it. By the way, for our own, we also have this type of structure design, right? This is looks nicer, and also small, right? And it's also fit a backyard easily. This is the one we promote. But if you have existing Chinese style greenhouse, you want to do some retrofitting, and then you can refer to this design. Okay, so anyway, so hope you like it, and hope you understand. This time this video will help you understand how it is. And if you still don't understand, ask questions. I will post this into my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel. So I will ask questions. I will, if we have time, or we can, we like to answer your questions, right? And I'm glad that the inventor Richard Nelson is with us, right? He's helping us. This is actually his invention, and he's personally helping us to do this retrofitting, right? To design this, and then so obviously he he know all things, because since 1980s, he started working on this, and he got 6 patents on this technology, but he liked to keep it open source. I mean, the idea, if you want to build it for yourself, then you don't pay a penny, right? But if you want to commercialize, then we need to talk, right? And that's talk to us, the PyraPOD. My name's by the way, it's Aubrey Zhang, and I like to the reason we do this, for free, to present this, to the whole world to see. We want people to use it, right? People to use it, to even prove that it works, right? So that's why we're so excited, about this. And we like to, once we believe that once China adopt this, then retrofit the existing greenhouse, and then stop producing the energy inefficient greenhouses, right? And then that will do great work for the whole environment, right? Because because this is the cheapest way, and this is the most efficient way, and this is the way to use the free solar energy. Free solar energy. Simply just use a little bit electricity. Even you can use a few solar panels to produce the electricity needed to power the fan and power the pump, right? So that's why we like it so much, and we don't hide anything. We open up, make it transparent, right? It is transparent, right? It is simple, right? Bloody simple, right? So if still you cannot see how it works, then you need to think about it, right? You need to truly ask questions, right? And and then I'm sure if you truly understand how it is, I'm sure most people can do it. If you still cannot, right, then we have the the product. We have the full line design, and and also we have this demonstrated. Right. So this is, I think it's enough. For handy people, enough for them to start from here. Okay, that's good. So we'll see you next time. Make sure, if you don't understand it, ask questions, and also make sure you subscribe my channel, because we're gonna produce more channels. Next phase we're gonna build build, manufacture this one basically, and and then and set up in my backyard, and to demonstrate it's working, and at that time I'm going to set up same thing. I'm going to measure 4 temperatures, right? Show how the plant growing, right? I'm doing aquaponics and sandponics, so to show how the fish is doing, right? And so everybody can see. So, and that's our way to demonstrate it truly work, and it's so bloody simple. Okay, so see you next time.
To it, but it has the screen.
Yeah.
And nozzles.
Yeah.
So we become the experts at how these components are designed.
Yeah. Yeah, and this system will be used for in CityPOD, right?
Yes. Yeah,
so
picture now as
it's
a
not
horizontal.
wasted here. Yeah. It's similar idea. Yeah.
It's always a general idea.
Yeah.
So what we did with PyraPOD is a very custom idea. This was always the big box idea, the very simple structure.
Yeah. Bigger, easier.
I call it the big box, right?
Yeah, big box.
It's so simple. It's really, really simple.
Yeah.
PyraPOD, by comparison, is much more complex.
Yeah, because the shape.
The shape, but it's much more beautiful.
Yeah.
The shape is beautiful.
Sure.
So, a big box is just a box. Nobody's interested in it.
Yeah.
But a PyraPOD is beautiful.
Okay, so that's it. So Meiji show a screen, right, on the left hand side, and this side, the right hand side is open.
That's
and then the other, and then the other, it's a hole, and then we can just simply and
on
stop here, and then and then I can make a simple video explaining.
You can do that. Yeah.
I forgot recording. Right now I'm recording.
Yeah. All right.
Can we put the door on the east or west side?
This side.
Yeah. Same thing. It just right.
Yes, you could put it on the north, or you could put it on the east or the west side.
Yeah.
The idea. You put the door right there, and bubbles can flow away from the door.
Yeah. Same. Then we don't have to worry about that. They're straight. And this side, what do we do here?
Yeah. So here's how it goes. They flow. So there's a doorway. We put it right in the corner. So we put the doorway right against the corner.
Right.
2.5 meters high. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like there it is. And we can make it wide, right? Just in
Yeah.
case.
Make it wide. You just
Be wide.
could. Yeah. The farmer want wide door. Yeah.
A wide door. So we make it
Double
5 meters,
door. Yeah.
4 meters. Well, sorry, 3 meters wide.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 meters high and 3 meters wide.
Yeah.
Or at least 2.5 meters wide. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 meters. So that's the doorway. So now the bubbles can go, as you see, over the top of the doorway, right?
Yeah.
The flow of the bubbles can come
Yeah.
around. They don't have to interrupt see the pathway and it's a 1 meter wide cavity. Yeah, that's it. It goes, and the bubbles continue, you see, flowing over the door, 1 meter deep. Now, really deep, 2.5 meters deep, 1 meter, 1.5 meters. This is really insulated, right? It's 1.5 meters deep, and wide, and 2.5 meters deep, and it's flowing. And then the partition, right, has to be designed. The middle fabric is also holding the bubbles in the top area. The middle fabric, right, holds the bubbles in the top until we end, and then they drop into the bottom, right? They drop from the top into the bottom part. Somewhere along this wall, we stop. So try to think of the bubble cavity now as one big space, right? Remember how we did the north wall? We look at it as one big rectangle at first.
Yeah.
Right? So you make a big cavity on the end wall here that's 1.5 meters wide. Just, look at it from the end wall side kind of thing. That's it. And the bubbles are flowing into that cavity. Think of it as just a big cavity space, right? Big empty space. It's covered with the fabric material on both faces, right? The outside face, inside face.
So actually,
Covered.
we need to make an add-on section.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right. We need to add like 1.5.
1.5 or 1 meter.
So this is
1 meter.
Then we can still keep everything the same.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Let's not go with the regular spacing 1.5 meters. Let's go with just 1 meter. But it's like a double.
Yeah.
It's a double arch, right, at the end wall.
Yeah.
No, it's a single, a double arch at the end wall.
Right. Double arch. Yeah.
Only 1 meter spacing. The other ones are 1.5 meters.
Right.
One is going to be a second
there
of the metal arching at 1 meter space, and the outside's covered with fabric, the inside covered with fabric. Between we have a cavity, right? And again, it's the same kind of thing. We want to create an upper cavity and a lower cavity.
Oh, yeah.
So we add another.
Yeah, the partition we had. Remember
Space.
before it was 1 meter wide, right? The partition.
1 meter.
So, and it is theoretically 1 meter, because you know what? We zipper it, so it comes back to the 1 meter.
Yeah.
Right? Post tension. It's not something that's noticeable, except out in the span of the fabrics. When you're close to the framing, it's 1 meter. It's when you're away from the frame support.
So the door is a doorway now.
Yes, it is. It's a portal.
Yeah, portal.
Through the bubble.
Yeah.
Through the bubble cavity. It's a portal.
Right. Yeah.
So what we did for the Fairfield one, we used the door. So let's say if the door was actually only 2 meters high, we use the 0.5 meter as a channel for the bubbles to flow in the lower cavity, but over top of the door. So So the door, the flow at the top of the cavity is smooth, right? Just turns the corner. It's coming down the north wall.
So Young, when do you have to go?
10
It's
at
10
10
now.
or 10:30.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just do the rough. Yeah.
Yeah, rough idea.
Yeah, rough idea maybe.
So when the fan is sucking the bubbles, there is a important sort of factor. Over top of the door, let's make a channel. We've got that middle partition, right? The middle partition is still there.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, that's it. So extend that around the corner, take that middle partition and bring it around the corner and into the end wall. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's it. So it's going across, like, making the upper portion and lower portion, right? That's the divider. So we break it around there where we won't go right to the end, of course. We break that somewhere in the middle of the south wall, the end wall. That sheet's coming across there, and we stop it somewhere,
I don't know.
around there. Yeah.
Cannot.
Yeah, that's it. That's the line.
Okay.
So we take that and we actually extend it across, let's say, towards, you see where it starts to, the arches come down, right? So we're kind of compressing the shape. The question is, where do we stop that, sheet, right? We can stop it anywhere, actually, right? As soon as we stop that sheet, the bubbles fall, right? The bubbles are up in the top, and as soon as we stop the sheet, the bubbles will fall into the bottom.
So maybe...
And because it's a U-turn, they're going to press into the turn, right? It's a U-turn.
Yeah, good cut.
So they're going to press into the turn. So I would pull that back quite a good ways. I would let them fall fairly soon. So let's say we make that sheet, extend it out. See how wide the door is, like 2 or 3 times the length. No, you don't break it there. That's continuous.
Yeah, that's continuous.
That's continuous all the way around the corner.
The right-hand side. He's talking about right-hand side.
Right-hand side, that's where we stop it. We'll pull that back, pull it back.
Give more room.
Meters, like 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. Push it back.
Push where?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, pull it back towards there. Yeah, take it back. As soon as we stop that, the bubbles will fall, right?
Yeah.
So pull it. Let's stop it way back, like far from the end. Right now, it's going all the way to Take
more.
More.
Yeah.
More. Okay, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We stop that sheet, right? That sheet that's connecting to the inside sheet, right? That's getting a top cavity and a bottom cavity.
Yeah.
So we stop it about there. What are the bubbles going to do? They're going to fall, right?
Yeah.
But they're going to push. They continue to push.
Yeah.
And they will fill in, and then they'll start to flow towards the bubble machine, towards the door.
Towards the door, and then the bubble machine.
And what we did is we put the fan on top of the door. You see, if you have a portal for the doorway, right?
Yeah.
And you have the sheet there. So we got 2 sheets. We got a sheet across the top of the doorway, and we got this other sheet, the partition sheet. The main sheet.
Yeah.
That separates the top and bottom. So what you've got is you've got like a duct in between them now. You created a duct between.
Yeah.
Right? Between the top of the door and that sheet is like a duct. 1 meter by what?
So we draw a round hole there.
Yeah, well that's where
Look at from
the bubbles no longer exist in this space.
So you mean here?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's empty space now.
Yeah.
That's becomes empty because we're going to kill the bubbles as
Yeah.
we pull them in there. So we're going to have like the bubble panel, you know what I call the fan panel, right? Where the bubble machine is, where the fans are. So the panel now is right there beside the top of the door. Yeah, not over top of the door, but right beside the,
Yeah.
there. So make the end of that duct, right, over top of the door. Yeah, yes, there. That's where the panel is. That's the bubble. That's the fan panel. The fan is there. And
To a
so,
whole.
yeah, we're going to pull the bubbles into that duct with the fan. It's yeah, and you know, because we have a limited space, right?
Mm-hmm. So maybe two fans?
So we might have two fan units.
Yeah, two fan side by side.
Side by side, two fan units, powerful, you know, wheel fan units. You know,
Yeah.
those ones with the wheel. Two of those, and they can do the bubble generating easily, right? Easily they can manage.
Yeah.
So they pull the bubbles in. So you can see we're pulling from the top of the bottom cavity, right? So the bubbles will come right up to the top there, right? And the air, the last bit of air will go in when we're making bubbles. And on the opposite side, we have a bubble screen.
Here?
Oh.
No, that's
No,
the top
the
of the door.
opposite. Opposite
Yeah.
of the.
On the other side of the door, in the north wall.
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the screen.
There. But you know, that might not be enough screen. So what we do is we do a kind of a plenum for the air to get more screen area. It's kind of just beside the doorway. It's like a plenum beside the doorway there, where we get more screen area available. Right, because that's cavity space over there beside the door. Right, it's filled with bubbles, except where we have the screen. So what I'm saying is we can create a space where we have more screen area if we want. And don't forget, it's filling the bottom cavity, right? All the bubbles we're making will fall downward and go downward first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Filling in the bottom. Can't go above, right? Because there's that barrier.
Yeah.
The tie, the fabric.
Yeah.
Partition. So let's say that's enough screen area for now, okay? But I don't think it is. But we'll figure that out later, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The bubbles, as you see, will go into the bottom cavity.
Yeah.
Right?
Flowing
Yeah.
bottom.
We take away the bubble machine where we had it before.
Right.
All of that now, we take it away. I'm sorry. But in some cases, right, we'll have that design. That still might be a valid design for some situation.
Yeah.
But now we have a different
a
different design for the bubble machine.
Yeah.
But the tension still works the same way.
Yeah.
The tension is still there, right? So see that angle that we have? I have a feeling that the angle, see the angle of the skin. Yeah, don't extrude that. That
We need to pull that out, right? Pull.
That's just empty space. No, that's just empty space, right?
Right.
Where the air can come out. And we know the air is going to exit there, from over top of the door, but it's going to exit into a plenum, what I call a plenum, which is a pressurized space. Let's look at the end wall and the shape of the fabric there at the end wall. The shape. See the shape of that fabric? See that angle? See that hip roof? Yeah, that angle. At the bottom, see the bottom? That could be where the screen is.
Oh.
That could be the screen. You see, what we're doing is we're pressurizing the space, and we're providing a screen that the air can get through. So let's draw a sheet of material that is on that slope. See the slope of that? Inside this,
Here.
inside. That's right. That whole slope area
It's a screen.
is a screen, or what we call the screen. What do we call it? The fan. It's the. Anyway, so it's not necessarily all porous, right? There's areas of that surface. The areas of that surface will be porous, and we'll position nozzles to shoot on that surface area, right?
Yeah.
So there could be a big oval area here, a big oval area of that surface, or a square area, or whatever, or two circles, or multiple circles.
Yeah.
That
Multiple circles.
are green.
Yeah,
And
multiple
we
circle.
position
Circle is better, right? Just for cone
circles and
sprayer.
nozzle. So if we have 3 circles or 2 circles, maybe 2 circles is enough. 2 big circles, because it's pretty big. It's a meter, and anyway, whatever we have a nozzle shooting on the screen.
Yeah.
Cover the screen with droplets, right? And the bubbles will push along the lower cavity space, right?
Yeah.
And remember, there is that partition, which we can see at the top of the screen. Oh, panel. Yeah, the screen panel, right? So we can talk about this as a screen panel, because it's not all screen. So there's area of screen.
Yeah, area.
Screen panel. So at the very top of the screen panel there, we have the extension of that horizontal sheet.
Yeah.
Right? It goes around the corner.
Yeah, around the corner, so they stop.
Go this way.
Yeah.
Around the corner. It is the partition, so the bubbles or the air cannot escape from this plenum.
Right.
Pressurized plenum. The air can only go out through the screen area.
Right.
So that's a continuous and pressure tight, right? So the zipper, if we have a zipper still, but probably we don't, right? Because we don't really need a zipper there. It's just a sheet of material that is put into this area and keeps the pressure in the plenum, the bubble generating machine. Yeah. So now you see that we have a door at the corner, and we'll have a corner wall system. In the corner, we're going to create an insulated wall that hides the bubble plenum behind it. See? So exterior to all of what we're doing right now, we build a insulated wall that covers this. Yeah, that's it. So no one can see the arrangement.
Yeah.
Where's the bubble? Where's the fan? where is the screen? Because it's hidden.
Yeah.
In this corner construction.
Yeah.
And we'll make the corner together with the door.
Yeah, and then when we service, right, we can then go in there. Yeah, do some service.
Yeah, because the door goes through that as well.
Yeah, right.
The portal, and over top of the door is part of the plenum, is where we have the plenum. That's pressure. That's a duct, right, for the air to flow.
Yeah.
And the air flows, is being pushed in by the fan, and it's pressurizing that corner area in the lower cavity, right? The lower cavity space is where we're going to have the screen, so we generate the bubbles. Yep, that's it. Oh, I got a low battery.
Well,
we need
I
to
think
stop.
Young knows. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know how it
Yeah.
works. Yeah, basically.
So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, if the
One other
bubble
thing-
Blow the
comes-
air, yeah. Create
Yeah.
a tension there.
There's where we pressurize,
Right,
And
pressurize
it's gonna-
that space.
So that space is empty, right? It's not
Yeah.
insulated because
Yeah.
there's no bubbles in there.
Yeah. So actually, so that fan could be far away, right? Yeah.
Yes, it can.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it can be.
Or maybe we can move the fans to here.
It can be there. Except then you're going to create more suction. You see.
Yeah.
Then that area over top of the door will be in put into real suction, right? So I feel the top is where we pull the bubbles and destroy them right away.
Oh, I
Okay?
see. Over there.
And then we're pressurizing with air. See, bubbles don't flow as well as air.
Yeah.
They don't as well as air.
Right.
So it's better to break the bubbles before they go into that duct. Right? And what we're having inside is air. Right?
Okay.
Not bubbles. See, otherwise we're pulling bubbles, and there will be a resistance to this.
Right. Yeah.
Pulling the bubbles into that narrow.
So you're saying it's better
channel.
this way.
Yeah, you see the bubbles are free in the big channel, right?
Right.
To come to the fan unit.
Yeah.
Just come and flow. But if the fan is in that duct, the bubbles have to squeeze into the duct.
Yeah.
Flow.
Yeah. Then it's hard. Very hard. Yeah.
Bubbles have a resistance.
Yes. Bubble. Air knows resistance. Yeah.
Zero resistance for the air.
Yeah. And it's also you want to pressurize that space. So.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So this is fine.
So we'll see, right? At least this is a good. And again, when you look at that Fairfield, notice that in the corners of the building, these structures, we did this. This is this. So when you look,
I couldn't tell. Yeah, that's hard to tell.
You look at the video and you're gonna say, "What? Where is the bubble machine? I can't see it."
Yeah.
Because it's hidden. It's hidden behind fiberglass.
Yeah. No wonder.
Structures that we build.
Right. Okay.
And you're going to look at that and say, well,
here,
now you're going to understand what is that thing?
Yeah. So going here, going this, coming back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Wow. This is.
And we have another.
What about this side?
It just is a mirror. Oh no, sorry. It's just a U-turn. It goes all the way around and comes back.
Oh, right.
This way come back.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going there.
If it gets,
Or maybe it's too long. We can add
yeah,
another.
if it gets very long, you're going to make a break in the middle and do it toward each
but
end.
Just for this, just a demonstration to show how it right way. So maybe just
just
make
as
a
a
path. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Just as
because
an
there's
idea.
no door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No doors.
Yeah, no door. So it's just two sections. Same thing.
And we could figure out how to do another door on this side and do another bubble machine.
Oh, yeah.
That would work in tandem with the other one, so they would both be going in the same direction, right? Each one would push bubbles. One would push into this bottom, and the other one would be pushing toward the top.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Same idea, basically.
Same idea. Yeah.
When the bubble screen is at the top side, that's why that tower, that corner construction, went all the way to the top, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'd need cover at the bottom, sometimes we need cover at the top. So it's a standard, right? It's a standard
Pushing
unit.
there, we coming back. Oh, I see.
So it's a standard design for the corners of the buildings.
Okay.
To do the walls.
But we don't have much time. Maybe just show just show.
Yeah, just a diagram. For
Yeah, diagram. Maybe not. Yeah, just showing that.
Yeah.
How just add a section there and just so the bubble will coming from the bottom, right? Going around to the other side and up, and then coming to the back to the north wall, and then coming back.
Yeah.
There.
And if we mirror this, we can do tunnels.
Yeah.
With no wall. So in other words, we say, well, you don't really need that high north wall. You can do a tunnel. So we just mirror this, right?
Yeah.
And we've got a south wall system and a north wall system.
Ooh.
Because bubbles on the north are fine.
Yeah.
We don't need this idea of an opaque north wall.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is our retrofit. This is for converting existing greenhouse of this design.
Yeah.
Convert them.
Ooh, 2 doors.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So we just use first or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And now
Yeah.
the screen is on the top part, and we're pressurizing towards the top because the inflow will be at the top here, right? Somehow, right? We'll work that out, but we won't do those details now.
Yeah.
But we'll work it out that in fact the here it will be generating bubbles into the top portion of the cavity. Well, perhaps this could be a taller door, right?
Oh, right. Taller door.
I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not. It's like we're doing a lot all very fast. Very fast. You can see that on our structures for Fairfield, we put the doors very carefully to make a really efficient flow path.
Okay.
For the
I see.
So just look at that one again. Look at all, because and isn't this great that we have that video? Because Aubrey, you can say to people, this isn't something we imagine we can do.
Yeah, we have real thing.
Yeah, we've done this. This is like easy for us to do.
And they're still using it?
Well, what happened is that because it was built
a long time ago, deteriorate,
more than 20 years, they changed the cover.
Yeah.
When they changed the cover,
Yeah.
they put single skin on.
Oh no.
so they couldn't make bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too old, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too old. Yeah, material won't last that long.
You know, the existing structure is so permanent. It's so durable.
Yeah.
We could go and put the cover system back on that structure. It worked perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, so a very, very, just little touch up, right? It's this that's over above the door. That should be not a line, just a plane, right?
Yeah, plane. Yeah.
Plane, and then
True.
to right.
Same idea as before. That will suck. That sucks in the sides, right?
Yeah.
So it pulls them inward and makes a sort of a tensioning of the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll still work even though it's not, with this weird shape.
Whew. Wow, this is nice. Oh.
All right, I will quit. You go, young.
Yeah.
But this was a fantastic, session.
Yeah, just finish, rough idea, and then I can make a video out of it.
Okay.
Just explain. That doesn't have to show the details.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Wow.
Very
wonderful.
good. Very good.
Wow. So technically speaking, it's it can work with any shape, right?
Oh,
as long as you figure out, your landscape, the path, right? Circulation.
Yeah, right. Any shape will work.
Oh, this is
It's it's very, very. Bubbles will go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
And some may even just instead of retrofitting, why just make just use same thing. I mean, just build a new one this way. So retrofitting is just retrofit existing structure, right? The other one is they say, they'll just build a new one this way.
yeah, because it's in production, and they can then build tunnels. With a column.
Just they don't have to change the
Instead of a north wall where it is, we would have a column row.
Yeah.
And we'd have a symmetric, tunnel structure.
Yeah.
It's very efficient.
Yeah, very efficient.
And then you find out you have to have pairs of structure, so you might have to extend it a little bit.
Right, pairs.
Create a full pairing of
the full pairing. Yeah.
Is in that area. Yeah. So.
Yeah, pair.
Yeah. So roof pairs, are significant like that they were working together to create the circuit, right? The flow path.
Yeah. And that also is a good DIY, project for for those who want to who like the Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Greenhouse over here, but then we can give them a suggestion, you even that, right? Even you don't want to use our new structure, and this
Yeah.
could still work. Yeah.
Yeah, because people just have bias and they might think, oh no, this is the best one. So fine. So use
Yeah.
bubbles.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
It works, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So we'll see you later.
Yeah. Okay. See you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep,
See you.
talking and see what we can next steps after.
Wow, that's
Oh,
nice.
I like it. I like it.
Wow, this is
See you later.
yeah. Bubble blanket. Wow.